What if I told you that one of the most powerful military forces in the Middle East is secretly terrified of the United States? Today, we're exploring the hidden fears of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, and why they might not be as bold as they seem. Welcome back to Awaken the Humans. I'm your host, and today, we're peeling back the layers of propaganda and geopolitics to understand the complex relationship between the US and the IRGC. These aren't just news headlines, they're pieces of a global power puzzle. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because we're about to explore some truly mind-blowing material. Let's dive right in, kicking off our list at number 5, America's unmatched technological and military superiority. The IRGC, while formidable in its own region, operates with a mix of conventional and asymmetric warfare tactics. They have drones, ballistic missiles, and a significant ground force. But let's be real, it's not even in the same league as the United States military. The US defense budget for 2024 was over $886 billion. That's more than the next 10 countries combined. This massive investment funds technology the IRGC can only dream of. Think about 5th and 6th generation fighter jets like the F-35 and the upcoming NGAD program. These aircraft have stealth capabilities that make them virtually invisible to Iranian radar systems. Then there's the US Navy's fleet of supercarriers, each a floating city with more air power than most entire countries. The USS Gerald R. Ford, for example, can launch sorties at a rate that would overwhelm any defense system the IRGC could muster. Add to this America's dominance in satellite surveillance, cyber warfare capabilities, and advanced missile defense systems like the THAAD and Patriot batteries deployed across the Middle East. The IRGC knows that in a direct, conventional conflict, its command centers, missile sites, and naval assets would be vulnerable to swift and devastating strikes. They saw what happened in Iraq twice. That memory looms large. Coming in at number 4, the power of U.S. economic sanctions. Military might is one thing, but economic warfare can be just as crippling. The IRGC isn't just a military unit. It's a massive economic conglomerate with its fingers in everything from construction and energy to telecommunications. This business empire is what funds its operations both at home and abroad. And this is exactly where US sanctions hit them the hardest. The US has designated the IRGC as a foreign terrorist organization, a move that allows for incredibly strict financial penalties. These sanctions, often referred to as a maximum pressure campaign, are designed to cut the IRGC off from the global financial system. They make it nearly impossible for IRGC-linked companies to do business internationally, access foreign currency, or import necessary technologies. For example, sanctions have severely hampered Iran's ability to sell its oil, the lifeblood of its economy. This economic strangulation directly impacts the IRGC's ability to pay its soldiers, fund its proxy groups like Hezbollah and the Houthis, and maintain its advanced weapons programs. They can try to find workarounds, but the constant pressure strains their resources and creates internal friction. Money talks, and when the money stops flowing, even the most ideologically driven organization starts to feel the squeeze. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit like on the video and subscribe to my channel Awaken the Humans. Now for number 3 on our list, America's vast network of regional alliances. The United States doesn't operate in a vacuum. The Middle East. It has a powerful network of strategic allies who share a common interest in containing Iranian influence. Chief among them are Israel and key Gulf Arab states like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. This creates a formidable strategic encirclement of Iran. Israel, with its highly advanced military and intelligence services, the Mossad, is a constant and direct threat to the IRGC's regional ambitions, especially in Syria. Covert operations, airstrikes on Iranian assets, and intelligence gathering create a persistent headache for IRGC commanders. In the Gulf, countries like the UAE and Bahrain have normalized relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords, creating a more unified front against Iran. These countries host major U.S. military bases, like Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar and the Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. This gives the U.S. incredible staging grounds for any potential military action, placing its forces right on the IRGC's doorstep. This coalition means that any aggression by the IRGC wouldn't just be against the U.S., but against a powerful and coordinated regional bloc, drastically raising the stakes of any conflict. Moving on to number 2, the threat of internal dissent and instability. While the IRGC projects an image of iron-fisted control within Iran, the reality is far more fragile. The regime faces significant internal pressure from its own population. Widespread protests have erupted multiple times in recent years, sparked by economic hardship, social restrictions, and political repression. The Woman, Life, Freedom movement in 2022 was a prime example, showing deep-seated dissatisfaction with the ruling establishment, of which the IRGC is the ultimate enforcer. The IRGC knows that a major conflict with the United States could be the spark that ignites a full-blown revolution. A war would bring further economic devastation, international isolation, and military casualties. This could galvanize the already discontented population and empower opposition groups. The U.S. can exploit this weakness through information campaigns and support for pro-democracy movements, further destabilizing the regime from within. The IRGC's biggest fear might not be an F-35, but millions of its own citizens in the streets demanding change. A military focused on external threats is one thing, but a military that has to constantly look over its shoulder at its own people is a military that's fundamentally insecure. They have to divert massive resources to internal surveillance and suppression, resources that could otherwise be used to project power abroad. And finally, the number one reason the IRGC is scared of the U.S. targeted leadership strikes and the fear of decapitation. This isn't theoretical, it's a proven capability. The most chilling example for the IRGC was the January 2020 drone strike that killed Qasem Soleimani, the legendary and powerful commander of the IRGC's Quds Force. Soleimani wasn't just a general. He was the architect of Iran's entire foreign policy in the Middle East, a figure of immense influence and charisma. His elimination, carried out with stunning precision in Baghdad, sent a terrifying message to the entire IRGC leadership: no one is untouchable. It demonstrated that U.S. intelligence could track and eliminate their most senior commanders anywhere, anytime. This creates a constant state of paranoia. Every IRGC leader now has to wonder if they are being watched, if their communications are compromised, if they are the next target. This fear of a decapitation strike disrupts their command and control, forces them to operate from the shadows, and limits their ability to travel and coordinate with their proxy forces effectively. It personalizes the conflict in a way that nothing else can. It's not about losing a tank or a ship, it's about losing your own life. This psychological pressure is a powerful weapon, and it's one the US has shown it is more than willing to use. What do you think about what we have covered, and do any of you have any facts to share? If so, please do share it with all of us in the comments. All curious, constructive, and exploratory comments are most welcome. If you enjoyed this journey with us, please like and subscribe to awaken the humans.